Hey lovelies, and welcome in my witch's cottage. Today we are doing something a little bit different, as I will take you along and show you what I eat in a day as a witch on a 1200 calories a day diet. This video will be a mixture of healthy kitchen witch recipes, psychological tips and tricks for weight loss, as well as weight loss spells. As a returning subscriber, hello and welcome witchies! You might know that I'm currently on a weight loss journey, but if you're new here, welcome on my channel. My name is Bex and I've been a practicing green kitchen and cottage witch for almost 18 years. I do lots of videos on kitchen witchery and other witchcraft topics, and currently I am battling the quarantine pounds. Okay, talked enough. Let's wind this day back to the morning. My favorite time in the day is the morning, and I do try my hardest to wake up before the tiny human who I own does, so I have some time to myself and start the day with setting my intentions. I ritually crafted this green witch tea blend for weight loss. For the recipe, check out the video linked above. That helps with its magical benefits to speed up metabolism, curb cravings, and has magical components to it that strengthen my willpower and evoke happiness. So while I enjoy a cup of this weight loss tea, I take some time for my witchcraft practice. I do draw a tarot card of the day to help me find some direction and motivation and set an intention for the day. I'll also do some general scripting for happiness, health, and my goals to manifest them into my life. And of course, I also do some weight loss affirmations. In order to help me visualize the outcome of the spell, I use a sigil-infused vision board that I made a while back, sipping my tea and evoking all the good feels I will have when I can button my trousers again. When I'm done, the tiny troll usually awakens from his slumber to demand feeding. And personally, I am not a big breakfast person unless, it's vegan and there's brunch and Bloody Marys, then I'm all over it like a cheap coat. So my general diet in the very beginning of the day is as black and liquid as my eyeliner. But I will make something for my son that I later on can also eat as a little sweet treat when the afternoon sugar dip has me in its ravenous claws. One of my favorite dishes to prepare is a simple banana cream made from banana and low-fat quark. It is incredibly easy to make, but yet so rich and creamy. Quark is very high in proteins and very low in fat, but it makes for such a wonderful smooth consistency as it is thicker than yogurt, so it actually tastes like you're eating something really decadent, naughty and unhealthy. I love to add a dash of cinnamon to it, as cinnamon doesn't only balance your glycemic levels and therefore reduces cravings, but in magic it can also be used with intention for self-love. Something that I do love to throw in once in a while to remind myself of the importance of self-care and the pleasure of slowing down for my own well-being. Baby boy gets the healthy mixture, and mommy occasionally deserves a teensy-tiny bit of honey, her portion, to make it sweeter. Now that the demanding troll is busy gobbling up his feet, mommy needs to brew her magic fuel that gets her through the day. Coffee. And I'm German, so I drink a lot of coffee. About 1.5 liters a day, but don't worry, it's all placebo. I only have decaf because anything above 1 cup of regular coffee gives me incredibly shaky hands and heart pulp 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 and heart pulp and heart pulp 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 and heart pulp pulp and heart pulp pulp. Hi! Palpitations. Man, that's a hard word to say, but you know what I mean. When your heart goes ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. The taste of coffee also works great to suppress appetite or cravings, and if you drink caffeinated one, that also helps with speeding up your metabolism, meaning you burn slightly more calories in a day. And of course, we don't want to forget to match the coffee intake with water intake, as coffee dehydrates you. One of my many talents is that I'm incredibly good at not following my own advice, so most of the time during the day I forget to do so, and then I chug 2 liters of water before bed and wake up 3 times at night to go to the toilet. Such fun! I do measure everything I prepare and put all the calories in my little app that tells me how much is still left for the day, but I cut myself a little slack and don't count the milk for my coffee. I know myself, I am a rebel at heart, so if I make too many rules for myself, I will only falter. That is why I give myself this little grace of a guilty pleasure in insurgent behavior. When stirring the first coffee of the day, I usually will put a little kitchen witch spell in it again, stirring in my attentions for energy and positivity throughout the day. So this magical brew will help me drag my tired ass self through the entire day while doing what one does: momming, housework, witching, yard work, other work, and so on and so forth. Around 11 AM I will actually get hungry for something non-liquidy, so I will start to prepare lunch. During the week I love to make dishes that are simple and quick but also have various taste components. A lot of times I will make enough for 2 days, so I only have to cook every other day. Smart! So today we're going for a Buddha bowl, which means an entire bowl filled with really yummy stuff. By the way, you can find all the recipes I'm showing you here down in the description box with measurements and calorie count. This is also a great psychological trick, as it looks like a lot, but all the ingredients in itself are not super high in calories, but very nourishing, so my body and mind feel like I'm eating a lot, while in reality we stay under 500 calories per portion. I usually make something where I just have to chop up stuff and then can let it do its thing without being chained to the stove for hours on end. So we eat a lot of one-pot things or simple oven dishes. I do love spicy food, so a lot of times my main dishes will have quite a bit of a fire to them. Something that is beneficial to weight loss, as well as spicy food is a natural suppressant for hunger, reduces body fat tissue through increasing energy expenditure, lowers blood fat levels, as well as fights against fat buildup by triggering beneficial protein changes in the body. It can also fire up your libido, explaining my inappropriate sexual references in some of my videos. Sorry. Man, I do sure need my partner to come back soon. I usually don't care much for sweet potatoes unless it comes deep fried on the side of a burger or mashed with tons of butter or salt. But I actually enjoy it if it's seasoned right. As I was already so gullible with the milk in my coffee, all other ingredients, including every drop of oil, are measured with utmost precision. Something I never did when cooking, but it really helps to stay on track, and after a while you don't have to measure anymore, as you really get a feel for how much you consumed over the day. Before moving to Spain, I did cut everything like a civilized human being with a knife, until I was introduced to the concept of kitchen scissors. For everything. Genius! My Spanish friends would cut meat, tomatoes, pizza, herbs, and basically anything apart from bread, which is teared apart with hands like wild animals, with scissors. Let me know if this is solely a Spanish thing or if everyone actually does that and I was the only one unknowing that did it the hard way. As a notorious stress eater, I often find myself wolfing everything down in a hurry as my mind is already running to-do lists for the rest of the day. In order to battle that, I did come up with a couple of solutions. 2 mundane ones and 1 magical one. That I will be sharing with you for dinner. First of all, I try to be more mindful and do not allow myself to have any distractions while eating. No phone, book, PC, work, to-do lists, and so on. Well, apart from the sweet angel child and his occasional temper tantrums. This helps my body to actually appreciate the food, and I won't feel like I haven't eaten anything just a while later on because my brain basically missed the entire eating process. This in turn will also help with learning how to eat intuitively as mind and body get more in sync. A little mindfulness exercise that I try to do while eating is to really taste each flavor, feel the texture, and envision the ingredients and how they were grown, their way onto my plate, how they look, how they smell, and so on. And really be present for every bite. And it can also help you to appreciate healthier meals more or cut down on meat consumption. I do encourage you to try it once. In the beginning, I really had a surprisingly hard time to keep my mind on my plate and not let it wander off. Another little mundane trick I do is to eat with chopsticks, as this naturally slows me down, possibly because my hand-eye coordination is just not very good. Sometimes when stressed and eating with Western cutlery, I find myself shoving everything in an incredible speed into my mouth. As the cultural stereotype demands, around 3 I get cravings for Kaffee und Kuchen, which, on perfect days, coincides with the time the tiny troll is snoring in its burrow. So I can sit peacefully on the couch and enjoy the dessert I made in the morning and only have to guard it from 1 other predator instead of 2. Fellow witchy parents out there, let me know if you also hide from your offspring to sneak a treat. This is the only time I allow myself to not eat at the table and will lounge on the couch, but I will still consciously enjoy and don't distract myself with TV or a book or work. And I make this into a very special time and will go through some effort to make it look extra fancy, so it is basically like eating a piece of my favorite cake. Irregardless, this banana quark cream is pretty damn good anyway, super silky and smooth and so rich in taste. I did find out for myself that I do need a little treat during the day so that I don't go sugar crazy in the evenings and resort to homemade face sugar scrub. But that never happened. Or did it? Now, of course, every day holds the potential for something unexpected to happen. And that is why I don't want to have a pre-planned strict eating schedule where I plan out every meal. Not only do I then constantly think about what I will be eating next and make my day all about food, but I also live in a village surrounded by wonderful close-knit village folk. So neighbors will sometimes leave freshly baked goods in front of my door, and I'm pretty sure that it's a sin to say no to a warm chocolate chip cookie. Or two. Oopsie! But that at least gives me a lot of energy to play in the snow. By the way, did you know that the Japanese have a word for eating out of boredom? Kuchisabishi means as much as a lonely mouth and describes the act when you want a snack just because, well, your mouth feels lonely and wants some company. I did find that hilarious and so fitting. Well, I did have different dinner plans, but the cookies kinda threw me a calorie curveball here, so I decided to make a lovely warm soup. Also, it is snowing like crazy outside, so it was the perfect comfort food for a winter day. And you can eat multiple servings of it as it is super low in calories. Plus, making it requires basically no effort at all, just chopping up some veggies in big chunks so they fit in a pot, cover it with water and throw in some powder bouillon. Something that can cook away while I'm doing other stuff. Usually in the evenings I tend to rush my food even more as I want to get baby in bed as soon as possible and start my workday. So I decided I needed some magic to help me ground, be mindful and in the moment and not wolf everything down, thinking of a million and one other things. And in order to achieve that, I made a special spell candle. I infused it with intention for mindfulness, grounding and a calm mind, and dressed it with lavender blossoms for the calmness and fir needles for grounding. So there's a little evening ritual for our dinners to just bring some more rest into the end of the day. I will set the table with the nice dishes and light the candle so my eyes can focus on it and pull me back in a moment when my mind wanders off to what I needed to do later on. A bit of candle magic like that is easy to do and does wonders for your psychological state too. Now, as you can see, I do eat whatever I enjoy and don't limit sugar, carbs or fats. Now, is this the diet that works best or fastest? Yes and no. With a more restrictive diet, of course, it would be possible to shed weight easier. However, I know myself, my triggers and mind, and know that this style of eating is sustainable for me. I do not have time, patience or desire to battle my inner demons all day long and have my thoughts revolve around the food I cannot eat. So I do hope you enjoyed this kitchen witchery light edition video and found maybe some inspiration if you are on a witchy weight loss journey too. If you have more tips and tricks, please let us know in the comments down below. This was my What I Eat in a Day as a Witch video, and I wish you a magical day and see you soon!